Yeah, yeah, come on now, yeah.
They won't go any further, but there's no need. We're here.
We're inside the walls of the...
Lower your voice. Yes, this is Elza Terran. Stay sharp.
I hear running water. Maybe we can water the horses and bathe.
Baldwin, no! Stop, you idiot!
I have road grit in every crevice. I need to bathe.
I know, I have it in all those places +1. But you can't run off by yourself, and you can't trust anything here.
You know that fountain?
I might. I haven't been here in 12 years. This place changes.
Let me try something. Discute magicae.
Ah, filthy mother of beasts!
So you can see me? This should be interesting.
The fountain is talking.
Oh, how I've missed the keen observation of mortals. Yes, I can talk, I can tease, I can bargain. I am Waterfane, the spirit of the fountain. Being a fountain spirit hasn't been much of a job these last 1,000 years or so, but I make my own fun.
We need to leave.
Don't turn your back on it.
No, don't go. Talk with me. I get so lonely here with only the ghosts of elven soldiers for company.
We need to find shelter before nightfall.
You're here for treasure, yes? You're here for treasure and I can help you. I'm full of copper and silver coins. Just step into me and take them. I don't mind. I can't spend them.
Back to the horses.
I can show you the quickest path to the treasure room right here in my waters. Just come closer and look.
No, thank you.
All the wealth of Elza Terran can be yours. Just bring me the elven-blooded bitch. I want to fill her lungs up with my filthy water, and you can fill her too. I won't judge you. Leave her to rot in me, and then I'll show you the treasure. She got you here. You don't need her anymore. There'll be more treasures for the two of you. She should be here with her people. Bring her to me. Bring her to me.
D&D is morally deficient.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's spiritually corrupt. It is educationally evil because it teaches evil, and it is potentially dangerous.
Mazes and monsters far out gate.
Now I am making your silver pants blue.
Today we're going to work on some terrain, a couple of fountains here, one sort of good and one kind of evil. Get them out of knickknacks from a Goodwill, a couple of plastic lids, got a little bit of fake holiday holly here, some plastic skeletons from Party City, a bunch of different plastic skull beads, and some different plastic and wooden beads, as well as some Durham's Rock Hard putty. Now I've got this little foo dog miniature. Not miniature, I don't know, it's a knickknack. It's got some writing. I don't know if it's Chinese. I'm assuming it's Chinese. Writing on the bottom. If anyone can identify what this is, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'm about to cover it up forever. We're going to start with our evil fountain here. I'm just drilling a hole into the bottom of it. Both of these knickknacks I got for less than $1. I think the rabbit I got during an Easter sale, so that was only 50 cents. It was either after Easter or during Easter. And the food dog, I think I spent $1 on. It's a much nicer piece. Now I'm going to drill in order to pin the rabbit onto this base, which is a smaller lid, like a pill bottle lid, inside of a very large sort of like Sam's Club mayonnaise type lid. This actually came from a jar of jalapeno slices from a movie theater where I used to work. I used to take these for storage and for crafting. And that's going to be our fountain base here. I'm just pinning him on there with some hot glue and a toothpick. And we're putting a hole in him just so he'll stay a little bit better on the plastic, because you got that smooth plastic. Now I'm roughing up that plastic so I can glue a bunch of different size skull beads, and then I'm going to drill a hole with our Dremel tool into the mouth of our rabbit here. And then I'm taking a strip of plastic off of a soda bottle, like a 3-liter soda bottle, put that plastic, and that's just sort of our base. That way I'm not trying to sculpt hot glue out of the air. It's nice and clear and thin. Now we're going to glue that down into the fountain, and we're going to glue it into his mouth. And then I'm just going to coat that with hot glue to sort of give the impression of fluid and into the water. I'm going to chop up some of these skeletons. I am running out of this particular pose. This pose being my least favorite from the Party City skeleton set. I've used quite a bit of them for things like this terrain and chopping their heads off to make other monsters and whatnot. And we're just going to glue them down inside the fountain. They're going to be sticking out when it's all said and done. I'm also going to glue some of this foam holly, which came from an artificial plant. I think maybe like a wreath, some kind of holiday decoration. Pick these things up very cheaply at the dollar store quite often. And they just make really good terrain. And the Foo Dog is very similar. He doesn't need an additional base. He comes with a base. Very nice knick-knack. I very much wanted to do something with him. I was thinking of just painting this and using this as sort of a centerpiece. I thought, you know what, if I make a fountain out of it, it's going to be so much more. It's going to clearly have a purpose. And once that stuff is in there, we've got sort of our bubbles and whatnot in the evil fountain, nothing in the other fountain. I'm going to fill it up with Durham's rock hard putty. I made another little mold with the excess here. And once that's solidified, we're going to tap out any sort of weird crumbs, and then I'm going to make ripples in the water using my small hot glue gun and just give the effect of ripples in the water. We don't want that to just be flat where that fountain is hitting, and I think it ends up looking quite nice when it's fully painted. It's a pretty good effect. Take it outside, and I'm going to base coat this. I should say prime it. I'm going to prime it with the Zenith Prime technique. We're going to start with black all along the sides and top, and then we're going to come back and smack it with gray on the very top. And this just sort of saves time, gives us already some highlights. It's a little less work with the brush by hand later on. Here comes that gray, just coming down from the very directly on top, straight down to represent sort of sunlight. Of course, once it's primed, then it's time for painting. I won't take you through the painting process because it's not that interesting. There's a lot of gray dry brushing for the stone and just some highlighting here and there. The evil fountain has a little bit more color variation with the red and the green skeletons, red for the blood. But mostly they're very simple paint projects. Nothing you really need to see. I have lots and lots of shots here of them. Let's take a look.
Bring her to me.